Today, we're going to have a very insightful discussion about using meditation in parallel to the Paddison program to get the final breakthrough. Certainly, it was the case for Valentin, who is today's guest. He's originally from Romania, but he's currently living in Texas and, in fact, has been there for the last 20 years. And he has been part of Rheumatoid Support, our coaching and support platform, for some time. And he is going to share today how it was the addition of meditation on top of all of the other aspects of the program, which helped him to get to where he really wanted to get to. So, Valentin, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Clint. Thank you so much for doing what you are doing, inspire people and get them feel better and give them hope for a better life and hope to realize that they have the power to heal themselves. I just want to express my gratitude and my sympathy for everything what you are doing. It's just amazing.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for embracing everything that I've been teaching for some time and rolling it out. We know there's a lot involved, and we know that there are lots of ups and downs along the way. And just before we hit record here, you said something really, really that I thought was profound, which was about getting so far with the other aspects, the more physical aspects of trying to heal, but it was the mental aspects associated with stress and so on that really seemed to be the final frontier. Can you put that into your own words, your experience?
So basically, my pain started in 2018, November, and I was struggling with back pain, and it evolved. At one point, I was so good, I was like 90% recovered, and I was basically pain-free from some days, and sometimes keep coming back, and I was in a cycle. And sometimes my pain was triggered by I noticed that was triggered by emotion, although I was 100% respecting your diet and doing everything, all the things that you're supposed to do to get better. And I noticed that there is something that is missing. And that thing was my psychology part. And I was looking for something just to jump that fence to health, to full health. And I found meditation. I found a way to quiet my mind. I found a way to start loving myself more and to give attention to me and not to stuff around me. And that brought me here. And now I'm good. I don't have any pain. I'm happy. I'm not depressed. I'm just in love with life, in love with what I'm doing.
To what extent are you comfortable to talk about, just briefly, the level of symptoms that you had before you started?
Sure. So everything started, I think, in November 2018 with a strong pain in my back. And I was going to gym at that time, and I was thinking, maybe I pull a muscle or something. But in a few days, the pain becomes so unbearable that one night I decided to go to emergency because I couldn't stand it anymore. And there they did an X-ray. I got a shot for the pain. And the doctor noticed something strange on my spine. And she said, you know what, you have to go to see a specialist in rheumatology. And I know somebody, and she's a doctor. And I visit her right away. And she started tests, doing the blood test, the X-ray, and the tests come back normal. I mean, my inflammation could not be, I'm seronegative. You cannot see my inflammation in my blood. The HLB27 gene was not present, which is typical for ankylosing spondylitis. My father has ankylosing spondylitis, so I have it in my family. So they all, the doctor started thinking about that. But since I didn't have any other symptoms and somehow the X-ray was looking fine, she told me that just go take ibuprofen if you have pain and we'll see what happened. Well, 2 weeks later, the pain came back again in the middle of the night. And I noticed here on the base of my neck, between the rib cage, the sternum, and the rib one, inflammation, like a swallowing. And that was everything started from there. And I got back to the doctor, and he told me, you have some kind of arthritis. Let's name it for the moment spondyloarthritis or axial spondyloarthritis. And she gave me a cortisone shot, a pack with cortisone for 10 days, just to hit it hard. But I mean, I was feeling great for those 10 days. I had so much energy and all the symptoms were away. But I was aware that the side effects of cortisone and everything, and I'm not a big fan of medication. Not that I have something against it, but I think we need to use it as a last resort. And the pain come back way worse than before. It's like that cortisone that just wake up a monster or something. And here I had like a swelling, and got back to the doctor. More X-rays, more CT scans. And in the meantime, I asked her if there is any connection between what I eat and this inflammation, because something has to cause it. It's not a virus. She said it's not a virus. We don't know exactly, but some people, they start doing some kind of elimination diet, and some of them, they discover the trigger, and the problem goes away. It's like it's gluten or something else. And I was really encouraged about that, and I started looking on the internet for the connection, and I found Dr. McDougall, the starch solution.
Mm-hmm. Dr. McDougall.
I said, okay, this is nice. And it was Christmas, and we had some guests, and we bought a lot of food. And me, in the middle of the reading on the internet, I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna stop from this moment eating any dairies and any meat. So I just stop it. I stopped it. And the next day I started eating sweet potatoes and green beans. And I did that for about 10 days, I think. Yeah. Until I found you. And I noticed that my pain suddenly subsided. Not a lot, but it was better. And I started looking on YouTube, and I found one of your video. And it was, I don't remember her name, from England, and she has ankylosing spondylitis too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she said, I couldn't move my head like this, and I had the same symptoms.
Could have been Cherie. Cherie does.
Yes, Cherie.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, so let's check what's Paddison program. And when I saw that we have like steps and plan and meals and everything, this is for me. I don't have to stay with sweet potatoes because I don't quite love them. And I start the Paddison program on 1st January, New Year resolution. And I got like 100% in. I did everything. And after 10 days, no pain. Like, this is nice. I love this. And I start introducing, I think, some new food. I don't remember exactly. And some pain came back, but it wasn't bad. It was good. It was fine. In the meantime, my results from the CT scan and from the X-ray came back, and it was bad in a way that how should I put it? My rib one, the rib that connects it was kind of destroyed. Let's put it this way, kind of remodeled, and I was like starting to panic. I was like starting to panic really bad, and I was starting to imagine the worst case scenario, that I have to live my whole life with like my father in pain and with medication. And I panicked so bad that I took the suggestion to start taking sulfasalazine.
What were your symptoms like at that point? What do you do you think that the results came back from a period in time a few weeks prior to you starting the dietary changes. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I think I think my overreaction made me worse, increased my pain, and that decision to start those pills wasn't quite good. And I will tell later why. And she referred me to a doctor in Houston who is a big specialist for rheumatology. I don't remember his name. And I visit him, and he looked at the CT scan, and he saw something there. And probably most likely you have IS, ankylosing spondylitis, and you need to start Humira or the other one. I don't remember the one. Enbrel right away. And in the meantime, I did my homework, and I know that, I mean, you use those in extremes when people are in pain, not when you are in light pain. And in the meantime, I regrew up myself, and I realized that I have tools and I have ways to improve my life and to get rid of the pain. So why not use them? So I refuse all the medication. But I stay with the sulfasalazine. And after, I think in May, I started feeling really, really depressed. And my intuition it was telling me that those pills, they have something inside of them that change your way of thinking. Like, I couldn't recognize myself. I got so deep in my depression that I have really dark thoughts. You know that. And it was hard because we just had my son, and I couldn't carry him in my arm because I was a little bit in pain here. So basically the collarbone was pushing the rib one, and all this part was in pain. And also I had a little bit pain in my back. And in the same summer, we decided to go in Europe to visit our parents. And one night before the flight, I start stressing myself about how we're gonna travel the newborn, what food I gonna find, and running that worst case scenario. And overnight, although I didn't have other inflammation, this finger was like this, and I couldn't do this. It was impossible, totally impossible. And I had new inflammation in my chest, and I realized that the way I'm thinking, the way I'm seeing life, it's wrong. And I have to do something to change. I have to find a way to I don't know, to retrain myself, to rewire my brain. But first, I was needing a plan to get rid of the sulfasalazine because I was way better before I started that pill. I know. And
I'm just, I'm just writing my book at the moment, and so yeah. That's what pops into my mind, and the reason I'm smiling is because of what I've written in the book. The opening paragraph in the medications section is that the choice of medications that we make is one of the biggest influences to our future quality of life, because we choose wrong. If we choose one of the counterproductive medications for gut health, then we're setting ourselves up for a hamster wheel, an endless hamster wheel of trying to improve, but making the underlying cause worse, or certainly not better. And if we choose wisely, it can reduce inflammation adequately so that we can work on healing our gut. And what I was fascinated by, some studies I've just added to the book, is that disease-modifying drugs can actually reduce leaky gut. So you've actually, got medications that can actually support you in your gut healing process. And so this intricacy of medications and the side effect dance that we have, and whether or not it's worth it for the reduction of inflammation, these are all so familiar and juicy sort of discussion points that it always raises a lot of interest and opinions, and in some cases arguments if you spend too long looking at Facebook comments. And so I just smile with a knowing, oh yes, the medication topic is one that is most full of anticipation and variable. So let me continue to resume where you found that you were actually doing better before you went on the sulfasalazine in your particular case.
Yep. So I worked on my finger. I started juices, like hardcore juices. I was drinking in the morning too, but I started with smoothie, spinach, and everything. Sauna, yoga. Okay, yoga, because yoga I stopped it after COVID, of course. And I decided to go to California to do a water fast and to stop after that fast the sulfasalazine. It was my plan.
Did you go to True North?
Yes. So I've been there I fasted for six days. And it was so good. It was no pain. I was like, ooh, I like this, but it's not sustainable. And it was so nice there. Everybody were like positive, and they have presentation twice per day, and they are funny. They are talking about the subject that I was like interested about. And one day I started speaking with a lady who had like lupus, I think. And she told me, there is a book. It's called The Divided Mind by John Sarno. Like, okay, I'm going to look into it. And that book is looking in the connection between the mind and the body. Basically, when you have some conscious trauma or events in your life, they translate in pain. They translate in disease. They translate in chronic disease. And solving the trauma will relieve the symptoms or will make the disease go away, and make a lot of sense, And I started reading other books, and it was another one, Anatomy of an Illness. That one was quite funny. I think, if I'm not confusing, a guy who was had ankylosing spondylitis was watching comedy shows on TV, and high level of vitamin C, so he changed the way of thinking, and his disease just disappear, go away.
What's his book? If we can,
I think it's Anatomy of Illness.
Anatomy of Illness.
Perceived by a patient, by Norman. I don't remember.
Okay, that's enough for first.
And another one, Mind Over Medicine by Lisa Rankin, and I love that book. And there she started introducing the meditation and journaling and being grateful for things in your life. And I start every morning having a journal, and when I wake up, I just start writing what I was grateful for. And even if you don't have reason, I was grateful for my food, or for the sunset, or for the day. And you start building up, and start from nothing. And then I came across a book of Dr. Joe Dispenza. And the first one that I read was You Are the Placebo. And then Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, or How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One. And in all these books, they give you the idea, the theoretical and everything, but they don't give you exactly how to apply all this information. But Dr. Joe said, you should start meditating every day.
Now, what's his full name, please?
Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Dispenza.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And so, tell us what he says.
So now, before I'm going to the details and how I start my meditation practice, I was meditating before 2-3 minutes per day, and I was thinking, wow, meditating is nice.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's just close one loop.
Yes.
You were back at True North, and you were fasting for 6 days. Now, what typically happens is that after the fasting stops, there's a challenge then to try and get back into eating without pain returning. And you're talking about coming off your sulfasalazine.
Yes.
So close all that off.
Yes. So after True North, I felt way better for maybe about 1 month. And then I noticed some symptoms coming back, but it wasn't bad. I was like at that level, that threshold, 90-95%. it was good. It was a good place to be. I mean, comparing where I was, it wasn't bad. It was great, actually. But I wanted to jump that fence, you know. And I think I found the Dr. Joe Dispenza book in July, and I start meditating right away.
And were you still taking the sulfasalazine?
No, the
No.
sulfasalazine. I stopped the sulfasalazine after True North.
Wow.
I just stopped it.
So you sort of did a swap out. You did a 6-day fast, and it enabled you, or you at the same time, stopped the medication, and yet here you are, a little bit after a month later, a little bit of symptoms come back, but still way better than what you were before True North.
Yep.
It's a good story.
And one more thing I forgot to mention. At True North, I want to go 7 days, but in the day 6, I had some very, very, very high pain on my liver. And the doctor there, they said, you are detoxing. And if you want to stop, you can stop. And I have terrible headaches. So basically, I think that was the moment when I was detoxing from all these meds. And I mean, I apply a shock to the system just to get rid of those pills, because otherwise I had to do it slowly, and I didn't like that idea. I couldn't stand the idea. I wake up in the morning and I have to take that pill. It was way too much.
I just want to draw people's attention to the summit that we did in 2021, Rheumatoid Solutions Summit. And in that, I interviewed Dr. Goldhammer, and he's the owner of True North. And he spoke about how he helps people get off medications going through this process. So if you haven't watched the summit interview with Dr. Goldhammer yet, and you own the summit, meaning that you're a member of Rheumatoid Support or Rheumatoid Solutions, go and watch that interview with Dr. Goldhammer. He goes into all the details of how this is done. If you're interested in attending True North, it's a sensational hour of information. He's also a very funny presenter and speaker, and uses very funny anecdotes, and it's a fabulous hour. You can still access that summit interview and all 17 of the expert recordings by joining Rheumatoid Solutions or Rheumatoid Support. It comes for free now as part of your membership, and you'll get the 2022 summit for free as well. So that's definitely information that's worth looking at. So back to you, and now we're up to when you started following the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and you're starting now to increase your meditations each day.
So before I will start presenting, I'm thinking to present that meditation that I was doing. I did it for 6 months, just to people to understand what I was thinking and what was my motivation behind it.
Please.
Yeah. So just a little bit about what was my level of understanding after reading his books and watching some YouTube podcasts. So basically every day we have about between 60 and 70,000 thoughts, and most of them are negative. The problem is that the day before we had 90% of the same thoughts. So by the age of 35, 94% of who we are is just a set of repeating programs, repetitive subconscious programs. So basically, we are running a program. Because if you look at our life, we are going in cycles. Because this is familiar to us. This is known. So our behavior is just a reflection of our experience, right? And because our mind is just a record of our past, right? So we react in the same way. For example, when you feel pain, you start thinking of the worst case scenario. You relive your trauma from the moment that you found out that you are sick. And the human mind is so good of living in stress. You don't need the doctor in front of you to relieve that stress. You have to imagine. And going like this day after day, day after day, instead of getting better, you're getting worse. And your body doesn't have a chance to catch up, and it's living in fear. It's living in fight or flight. And even when you sleep, I was waking up in the morning with such an anxiety that I was like really scared, and my heart was pumping so hard. And I knew that moment that I have to do something with my behavior, my state of being. So your disease become your personality, right? Become parts of you. And it's sad to say that, but it is what it is. It becomes you. And now the body takes control and create the hormones of stress. And suffer it's so common to you that when you are thinking of your disease and your problem, when you are not thinking to your disease and to your problem, you are actually uncomfortable because that is unknown, and the bodies pull you back because those hormones are very, very, very addictive. So how my body should finish recovering if I was in stress? It was basically impossible because I was running a program. Me being sick, me running worst case scenario, even if I have all the tools and all the food was perfect, my mind was not there. My mind didn't want for me to get better because I was looking to my father, and somehow maybe on my subconscious level, father figure is very important. I was reliving the same trauma. Now, what's the good news? Our brain has the capacity to rewire itself. It's called neuroplasticity. So I was thinking, if I manage to get myself sick and stay sick with stress, how about if I change and I'm not gonna feel stress? I'm gonna feel happy. I'm gonna feel joy. I'm gonna feel love for life. But for that, you need a tool. You need something to know yourself, to catch yourself before you are doing a mistake, before you react, before you have that thought that pulls you back in the hole. And for this, I use meditation. And the word meditation means become familiar with you. So I started this meditation, I think in July, and I gave myself 6 months to see some improvements. And this meditation was 47 minutes long. 47 minutes, and I used to do 3, 4, 5 minutes of meditation. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding. And you are doing the meditation sitting on the chair, not laying down. Because if you lay down, you're going to fall asleep. So I will go through you to the steps that I follow in this meditation. So the first part, you start focusing your attention from narrow focusing. Like when you are stressed, you're focusing on a person, or you're focusing on a problem, you're focusing on a situation, and your mind keep running around and keep reacting, keep over analyzing, and that is stress. So the meditation, and this is brilliant of Dr. Dispenza, is shifting that focus from something narrow, from something in your life, to nothing, to a wide focus. So basically, you are putting the focus around you, on the space around you. And sounds weird, sounds strange, but the moment you are shifting your attention to something or the space around you, the brain starts to calm itself, and it's going from beta. The beta is a state of a stress of high beta is stress. Beta is just awareness. But like right now I'm in beta, I'm explaining something to you, and it's going to alpha. the state where we are imagining stuff, where we daydreaming. And after that is going to theta. And theta, it's a highly suggestible state. It's like you being in a hypnotic state. You are very suggestible to information.
Okay, let me pause there. Are you saying that and do you close your eyes?
Yes. Close your eyes.
So you close your eyes, you've got into a very relaxed state. You probably kick off with some sort of calming breaths and deep breathing and so forth. And then, sorry, no?
It's a guided meditation. So you follow the instructions.
You follow the instructions. Okay. And then this sense of feeling around us, you've described it as going to a white space around you. And so
you just close your eyes and you put our attention on the space around your body, or the space around your nose, or the space around the walls that are at you, the room where you are, the empty space. And the mind is start going, slowing down. And at one point you're going to be in theta. So
good.
He measured the people reaction in his meditation, and he noticed that when you are in theta, you can see it on your electroencephalogram, and it's basically everything what I'm saying. He did everything. He did all the scientific measures, and I don't know, it worked for me.
Great. Okay. Well, let me not interrupt you again. Go through the following steps. So we're on step 1. Yep.
Yeah. So then you have about 20 minutes where you try to think of nothing. So you try to clear your mind. You try to go deep. You try to settle your body, because at least in the beginning, your body is going to be really nervous because you are doing something that is not familiar, that is different, and your body is craving the stress, it's craving the cell phone, it's craving the email, it's craving the food, it's craving he wants to go to the toilet or something like that. And it's a victory when you finally settle your body in that chair and you wait. And it's on the beginning, it's not easy. And since I gave myself 6 months, I didn't want to give up. And after 20 minutes, staying in that state of, at one point you feel your awareness, you feel like you are pure consciousness, you don't feel your body anymore, you are detaching yourself from your body in this meditation. You are pure, let's say pure awareness, like when you are aware of something, but you completely forgot about yourself, you completely forgot about your problem, you completely forgot about your life, and you are just nothing, right? You are awareness in nothing. And somehow that monkey mind at one point will shut up, will stop interfere. And in that moment, you're going to feel some energy in you. You're going to feel something. But in the beginning, I didn't feel anything. I just do it because I wanted to do it. And then you go to the third step. And here, this is the part that I love the most. So Dr. Dispenza will guide you to change to belief or perception about you. By now, you are in a theta state, you are in a hypnotic state. And for me, my first choice was to change the belief that I was sick and unhealthy. And how do you do it? How do you do this? So basically, you recognize your state, you recognize your emotion, and you let them go. Right? You let them go. They are not part of you anymore. And then you start feeling that you are already healthy. But not imagine, feeling. So feeling is the most important word. And you start thinking about it, of those emotions that you are having. Like right now, I'm healthy. What I'm going to feel? I'm going to feel happiness. I'm going to feel love for life. I'm going to feel freedom. I'm going to feel wholeness. And in time, this emotion builds so much that you're gonna feel them in your heart. And also, you can imagine, you can think about it, how are you gonna act once you are healthy? How are you gonna feel? How are you gonna behave with others? How are you gonna change? How are you gonna react when you are healthy? And after that, you are grateful. You are grateful, even if the healing it didn't happen yet. You are grateful that you are healed. And you know what? The brain doesn't know the difference between what we think and what is the reality. It's just that's the way of the brain. Like you can imagine that you want a specific food and you start salivating, right? Or I could give you another example, but I will stay here. Um, and you are so after a while, and you do this every day, and after a while, this feeling builds in you, and you start getting out from that meditation feeling like something changed in you, like you really start feeling better. And Dr. Dispenza is saying in the end, when you open your eyes, it's important to feel that something changed in you. A little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. You have to move the needle a little bit. And after 2 months, one day I come in the morning and my wife was looking at me. She said, you know what? Can you give me that meditation too? And ask why. I'm looking at you and I do not recognize you. You are not nervous. You are calm. Your anxiety is gone. Your depression is gone. And I realized that, you know what? I actually do feel better. But I was still having the pain. And I was start reading about it, why my pain didn't go away. And I realized that I was feeling way better in my meditation. But when I came up from my meditation, I still have those triggers. I still have those small stress. And I at that point, I said to myself, you know what? I have to connect with that feeling of my new life, in like the feeling, that joy, the feeling of love for life, and to maintaining outside of my meditation, not only in my meditation. And I started doing that. And I started feeling so good with myself, and I started loving again myself and loving again my body, who was kind of skinny. And I'm good, but I was really, really, really skinny. And I still start loving the way I am, just the way I am. And I think from there, everything starts changing. And your mind, it starts wiring new circuits with the new you, and the old circuits with the old you, they got cut off, they got pruned away. And your body doesn't have a chance, needs to follow the mind. So you are recondition your body to a new mind, basically. You're creating a new you. And I become more fascinated with his work, and I found a different meditation. And at one point, I decided to go to a 7-day week retreat. So basically, I was in Cancun in a 5-star hotel, all inclusive. Luckily, they have vegan food, and we were meditating 7 days, like lecture, meditation, lecture, meditation, lecture, meditation. And in one of those meditation, I had an experience. Like I felt a lot of energy, and I think we are more energy than matter, coming up from my legs and going to my heart. And the moment it reached my heart, it was in my brain, and I felt, and I had a mystical, a transcendental experience, and it was personal. I don't want to talk about that, but the feeling that you feel, it's ecstasy, it's pure love, it's joy, it's just crazy. And everything is not coming from outside you, everything is coming from inside you, you know. And I was like, and you realize that everything was there from the beginning. you are like that. We are like that from birth, you know? And it was such an amazing moment and such an amazing transformation. And after that, I came home and I was fine. Just fine. No more, no more, no more. Just pain, just a little bit. I was like a little bit. And I decided to meditate 3 times per day and for the next year. And now I have 570 days of meditation every day. And when I had that experience, my brain, what the brain is doing, like the brain is recording the memory, but it's not only storing information. Most of the memory is emotion. And when you are having a trauma, the brain takes that snapshot, right? You're at the doctor is going to say, you have 10 days, you're going to die. And those emotions are so strong that the brain gets a snapshot, like a picture, and that is your memory. And every day, every time you are thinking about it, you are reliving the same emotion. You are triggered the same thoughts. You are triggered the same response from your body, the same hormones. But now I had a different snapshot. Now was happiness. I was whole. I was in love with me. I was in love with life. And my brain, and that emotion was higher than the emotion that caused me to be sick. It was bigger than the trauma. And somehow the brain prioritized this over the other one. And you are getting back to health. And it's very important to have gratitude for everything. Because when you feel gratitude and you express it, I understand there is some research. We have in our body a rain of 1,200 chemicals, and all of them, they regulate health, not disease. So gratitude, it's very, very, very important. And feeling the feeling even before the event happened. So you are so caught in that moment, and you believe so much in yourself that you do not care anymore if you are healthy or not, because you are happy and you are in love with you. And all those emotions that you feel during your meditation, they trigger in you a response, like all the emotion that they translate in chemicals, right, in hormones. And those hormones, they're gonna regulate your genes. They're gonna regulate. They're gonna repair your body. And I know there are people who heal in an instant during one of these moments, and not from any kind of condition, from the worst possible condition. So basically, we have in us something that makes us capable of healing ourselves. And when I had that experience, I feel that I had a connection with something bigger than me. I don't know how to name it. My higher self, God, I have no idea. It doesn't matter. And I felt that I'm not alone in this. I felt that I'm part of something bigger, and we are not alone, We are not alone.
Mm. When you had that experience, and I know that to protect your the privateness of that experience, but for those people who want to imagine the potential of having an experience like that, did you at any moment feel the sense of, like, did the common conscious brain say to you, "Oh my goodness, what's happening here?" Or were you just completely in it?
So so before that, so basically it started like an energy, like a rush in you that is coming, and you are thinking you're going to have a heart attack. The heart is beating so fast, and it's moving so much energy, and that energy is hitting the brain. So it's something very familiar and unfamiliar. I don't know how to explain it.
Sure. Thank you.
But I was feeling safe all the time. It was nothing. I mean, it was pure love. And that level of love I'll never experience in my life is more than love for your child. It's more than anything else. There's no words for it. And one more thing. Basically, when we are in stress, you can imagine your body and every system in your body singing to an instrument, and the heart is the conductor. But when you are in stress, each system sings a different song, and it's not the result is not music; it's just noise. And in meditation, you feel your heart going in a coherence, and this could be measured. There is in California a Heart Math Institute, and they have small, short meditation just to put your heart in coherence, and that coherence is order. It's a level of order, a level of it's a energy. It's a feeling, and that order is going to the brain. And when it hits the brain, you are going in gamma, and gamma, it's a different state. It's a very order state. It's a high frequency, and gamma is super consciousness. Like you are in a creative state. You are in the it's pure bliss. So that happened to me. And when the heart becomes coherence, everything becomes coherence. And when the coherence hits the brain starts regulating stuff, regulating the immune system, regulating the digestive system, regulating absolutely everything. I don't know. I feel lucky that I discovered you, and also I feel lucky that I discovered this stuff about meditation, Dr. Dispenza, because it gave me happiness, you know. And now I'm not reacting anymore to anything. I'm just driving, and if somebody is cutting my in my lane, I'm fine because I was there once, and now I know how that person feels, and I'm not there anymore. You're just brings you more peace in your life, more wholeness. And I noticed that now I have a lot of patience with my son, and you know how kids are. And I don't react, and I try to understand his view. And basically, if I react, usually every night I was used to go through my day and find that trigger, find that moment when I was disconnected to my future life. And I will start imagine how I will do it next time. How I just practice in my mind. And what if I have a second chance? How I react? And just practice this day over after day and after day and after day. And somehow now I am a new person.
So that technique you've described would be similar to, say, a baseball coach watching the replay of the game and saying to the catcher, for instance, when the ball's thrown like that, next time try this. And so there's this process of continual improvement upon watching the replay of the day in your mind. Or I see. And you do that calmly without judgment. And then when you're faced with that similar scenario the following day or following week, then you are not as reactionary, and you're able to apply that change, and therefore get a better outcome.
Yep.
Would you say that with what you've just shared with us today, that there's a part of you that deeply believes that getting a diagnosis of, let's call it ankylosing spondylitis, for want of a different phrase, has been a positive thing in your life?
Oh yeah. Now I mean, I was eating meat 3 times per day. I was overweight. I had a lot of problem with cholesterol. I wasn't, I was happy with my wife and I was happy with my kid, but I wasn't happy with myself. I didn't love myself. And now, because of everything that happened in my life, I'm a new me, and I know it's a better me. I'm sure about that, and I'm still improving. I'm still doing my meditation. I'm still trying to find ways to get better at this. And yes, definitely. If I will be to start over again, I will do the same thing. It's just amazing. I cannot believe I'm saying that. Hmm. It's it's very rewarding to to have so much calm in you, so much peace in you, so much love in you for everything else. It's just great. And all this, all these things I learned them from Dr. Dispenza books and workshops. And now it's part of me.
Is there one particular 47-minute meditation that you would send people to who are very curious about trying this? And let's not even use the word trying, because we know that it works. Adopting this.
So basically, I think he has like a health collection, and any of those meditation will do. It has like a changing of belief and perception. It has a meditation for breaking your habit of being yourself. This one that I did was you are the placebo. And this stuff works. It works.
Wonderful. Well, it's been fabulous to sit and listen to you. To think that this is my job, for want of a better word, is to sit and to listen to wisdom and insights from people like yourself, and to learn from what you've been through, and to be able to, extract the information from you that can be so helpful to myself and to other people. It's just such a pleasure. And what we didn't say at the start, and for those people who are still with us and watching right to the end, I thank you. But Valentin is actually a psychologist, and you've probably picked up his ability to eloquently explain difficult concepts. And whilst he's not practicing in that area of expertise at the moment, that was his education and a past life, I guess you say. So it helps to add some validity also to the way you've helped explain this to us. So thank you very much. This has, as I said, been a pleasure. And thank you for being part of our online support group. And I want to extend a complimentary pass for you so that you can be there in case some other people have questions of you, and be able to maybe want to drop you a line and ask you something, if you would accept that.
Sure. Yes, I would love to help other people, because I know pain and I know suffering, and there is a escape from them. There is hope. There is hope. We just need to do something to move the needle, and that needle moves. Diet works. Smoothie works. It's an important part. Exercise works. Going to the sauna works. Bikram yoga, it's yoga. It's good. It's very good. And you can add meditation too, just to calm your mind and give your chance to heal. It's an important component of the healing, I think. Just quieting your mind.
Thank you.